have no music that is in coordination with their spirits. Because of this, the opportunity of
down with the slackness, down for the cause if it would stop the whackness. Down with Isabella and Ferdinand Conquest. Down with debates and shit talking contests. Down with rappers' lies, acting like onsets. Falling on the stage, niggas down with the cross dress. Never down for the people with stand on their shoulders. Down with dirty laws and Jesuits like boulders. Down for the count, pull the fangs of the counter, punch them down the stone. Put on the yoke and watch them fall down from the top like a scapegoat. I self-law and master, not down with the great hope. If you wanna be down, you better lift yourself up like elevators down with locks and alien predators. I hope you get it. Step up, you know you're going down. Rappers fronting like an MC when he's really a clown. If you hear, get your hand on my pocket in my lecture. No El Haj Malik repeat, I betcha. Sergeant of the Moorish unified front toward Islam. Twist your arm like a blunt, won't spark it. But like Tiger Claw, debark it. Before anyone saw, not Cain, but I'm raw. Long live Iron Sheet, slaying the weak. Rhyming about rims, spinning on their Jeep. Making a mockery of the art and hard work. Put in by the veterans, now they gotta work. Guru in a coma, rap heart attack. I'm sure a premier beat would bring the guard back. Can't give it too much time in my rhyme, but I know mostly in rhyme they doing the crime. Build a ball court, a whack remedy. Living right around me is my worst enemy. I see that they look just like me. Award for hip hop when you're not an MC. Mastering the ceremony, very lonely. Rapping genuine, riding the beat ponies. Scrap the DJ and dancer like a phony. If you see me in some skinny jeans, you know they clone me. If you hear me rapping about crap, I'm Coke B. So do me like Big L or J and smoke me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. If you hear I killed Assistant Grand Sheik, just know they're trying to get me down the Drew Ali road. Release me into the hands of Moor's dirty, knowing that they conspire and wanna hurt me, offering me dishes with glass splinters, so they'll give me a ride, leave my jacket in the winter. Try to get me through sheet cast with no weakness. Don't get it twisted cause you see us speechless. I put more trust in Jupiter KTS than fake Moors with more records than JBS. Telling me they save but just wanna be paid. Don't wanna pay dues but be men that's made. Pushing like to travel but don't defend. And only when backs against the wall they wanna befriend. That's why I watch no face and beg no friend. Cause only Adam Chambers will be there in the end. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. So fly, no lie, so hot, I know this. Sniff your whack lines, you're so hopeless. Clones and drones, skull and boning, and rims chroming. Watermelon eating, mad cow, bird flu, chicken stealing. Human raccoon running through daisies, selling out your race cause you're so lazy. Think you want a level when he owns your master, holding his dog, thinking you're balling. Not me, you're fooling. Armchair revolutionaries cooling. Posing with your fat ass on covers of Maxim. Big fly eye shades under big brims. And some tight jeans you shouldn't wear, you're too slim. Can't stand your flow, we got me snoozing. Drooling for your cooling. If I go to your show, it's me that's booing. Even if I may lay with my blood cooling. Go back to the essence with those old schooling. In the next realm, I'm just keeping it moving. Don't need a whip, I'm comets, I'm cruising. I'm the spirits, you need a bottle, stay boozing. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. Honest yo, my principles, that's how it was dead, right? MK Ultra, King Alfred, or X84. Once all melanites behind cage doors. In front of the idiot box, drinking calls, watching sports. At the picnic, first in line for walks. Can't find your mind, some say that it's lost. More science says divine souls got lost, abandoned. Love is my ammo, peace is the cannon. Truth is the Ayahuasca talking through the shaman. Freedom is the freedom, justice I must get. Tears fall like no shot with the pilgrim's muskets. The ruckus I bring, but this ain't Wu-Tang. Hold you accountable, Shimitar takes it two hands. Sent up the frankincense from Sudan. Big up to my elder and the god Moses holding up move band. Rainbow flag rapping Fruity Loop toucans. Same company got cola and toucans. Different labels, you're not having the label. Make sure I rules. Watch the goddess not cable. My property, now the rights of the archives paper. Ex-knights, now sheiks of the round table. Ancients return to reclaim and learn how to not to succumb to the combustion burn. Astral projection, as above, so below. So you know off the cosmos we're reflecting. Yo bro, laws of nature, make the sun hate you. Hybrid cockazoid, I'm all pro but not rapanoid. My deep mob, make devil's horns kebab. Don't get my Islam twisted with jihad. Don't get the Muslim mixed up with Muslims. Don't mistake the Mufti force for hoodlums. We giving back Islam and his story. Taking my story, creating a mystery. That's what's hidden. It's now called Satanism. Men thinking they're wise, but they lack wisdom. Need I say more? In my proper person, I got judges tearing up the bonds and cursing. I self-law a master. No guns, let God be whirlwind blast ya. No need for tabs, we got the feds. Rituals make them roll down the steps like the Aztec heads. I self-law a master. No guns, let God be whirlwind blast ya. No need for tabs, we got the feds. Rituals make them Aztec heads. Ready for conflict. Application is the path, but some reroute it. The most I can say is Mother Nature sets fires and they can't out it. They take oaths, I know the truth, but they can't shout it. I plant the seed in your mind, got the highest route. Just like Jack's beans, roll a soccer sensei scene. Empty ashtray hanging from the loose kente. Bobo beating on the djembe, calling Orishas, or hailing Goddess Manette or the niggas. Red, black, green candles holding flame. Make you think so much and end up with a swollen brain. Cause even she can see that he's in create her. The point creatress is the only creator. I self-law a master. My son now run my birthrights a sovereign. God macabre around me revolving. X-Alpha or David Starr, I'm shooting at your squadron. Illuminate my higher self, see from afar. I'm so against jail I can't rhyme in bars. I self-law a master. No guns, let God be whirlwind blast ya. No need for tabs. We got the rules, make them roll down the steps like the Aztec heads. I self-law a master. Guns, let God be whirlwind blast ya. No need for tabs. We got the feds. Rituals make them roll down steps like Aztec heads. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Artist Union. Conscious. Artist Union. I self-law a master. Whirlwind blast ya. We got the feds. Aztec heads. Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they're real but they too fake. Most act minor but think they too great. Most meet fake just cause they too bait. Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they real but they too fake. Most act minor but think they too great. Most meet fake just cause they too bait. Welcome to Scarborough. Youths want cash without tango. Candle magic got me calling on Shango. When I strike, I'm coming from lightning angles. Wet up in your ride like dangles. Know your place. When me and the God step into place, devils get step in their face. No matter your race, watch your speech. We defend peace with justice. Love for the God make you shit like mustard or run like custard. Too slow, so you know how to go. Send him to Assad. I'm not the one to judge you, bro, or judge you, sis. Humanity written from hip to hip, but you're shaking them and not getting your womb equipped. Degrading yourself for women's rights, not saving yourself. Turning a dyke, but won't spiritually raise yourself. Waste of sperm, can't even wait to perm. Getting viruses and symptoms, you're thinking it's germs. Making so many mistakes, from none you learn. Seeing your future as the fucking cauldron turn. Ease the burn of your young son's death. Blaming the influence, but never blaming yourself. Driver shot, but never a crooked cop. Crip shot, but never a racist cop. Racism doesn't exist, so stop. Rex 84, King Alfred got him on the block for chopping. Nigga mortus, abuse ain't stopping. Guns on your shirts, but your pistol's not cocking. Popping and locking, guns jammed for 10 you're locked in. Or eternal sleep in a closed coffin. Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they're real but they too fake. Most act minor but think they too great. Most meet fake just cause they too bait. Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they real but they too fake. Most act minor but think they too great. Most meet fake just cause they too bait. They got you stuck on some fakeness. We reveal this, you heard of us. Official lower self-murderers. These Moors come equipped for warfare. Tam or Kufi. These Sufi are my corp of Mufti. For all those who wanna profile and pose. See a nigga dressing or a fag made his clothes. You all alone in that gear, cousin. Gangsta hardcore thugs, he just frontin'. Cops keep them fake crews running like they supposed to. Rich like Scarface, you never come close to. I can see it, eyes tell no lies. Assalamu alaikum, selling white sugar in those bean pies. Giving dollars to Doc's lawyer who took the bar. And between you and your leader, he's being a bar. Some say I'm rude, blame Brother Dawood or Azariah. Pastor Beverly, the Messiah. David Walker, action not a talker. Sleepwalker, wake up, you're just daydreaming. Dirty Moors don't want to be God and stay heathen. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they're real but they too fake. Most act minor but think they too great. Most meet fake just cause they too bait. Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they're real but they too fake. Most act minor but think they too great. Most meet fake just cause they too bait. Rappers think they hot, niggas warm like Luke. Oops, call them dirty Moors is what we taught to do. Not the Klansmen burning some cross for you. If he's got a speechwriter, who's the boss to you? Voting for Obama, I see he's off like you. I walk, don't need a boxed up Porsche like you. Loving the Fiat, dirty Moors thugging for Fiat. Grabbing old ladies' purses, they mugging for Fiat. Some taking, some bait, for Fiat they drugging. Fiat is backed by nothing. Players hands on their ass like it's turkey they stuffing. Doing it for your boys, treat your girl like nothing. Matriarch rules, patriarch fools. I'm seeing gods act like men, thinking like mules. Square my rough edges without mason tools. I never took an oath, so I'm revealing mason rules. It's too late. Most say that they're real, but they too act minor, but think they too great. Most meet fake just cause they too bait. Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they're real, but they too fake. Most think they too great. Most meet fake just cause they too bait. Produced by D&D.
Just fading out the
music. Gotas.
Just fading out the music.
Iron Sheik. See.
Yeah, Moors already know what's up. Moors already know. Happy holiday to all the Moors worldwide. All happy holy day. We give honors to the Prophet to have a platform to get his message out to everybody everywhere. So realizing that the mental slavery is because people, Moors, blacks, Negroes, colors, whatever, whoever they call themselves, choose not to know more daily. Like, think about it. Think about all the stuff that, as Moors, we learn today. From this moment right now to when we got out of bed this morning. Think about how much stuff Moors who study learned today. Now think about people who don't study, but not people who are supposedly, dead or whatever. We're talking about people who claim that they know who they are. And whether we deal with MOOR, MUUR, MAUR, whatever, everybody's going to be hating. And they hex their self because by them hating on Moors, they're hating on knowing more daily. By them hating on Moors, they're hating on knowing MOOR daily. DEY daily. Exactly, going against their own stuff. So we wanted to definitely get on the record why daily. Even the Moors who, after they thought about what they know today, they said, damn, I know a lot of stuff. I know a lot of stuff. And that's just today. Let's go back, 2 years. How much stuff did I learn? So we're jam-packed, but we already know we could not stop knowing or wanting to know. So we're going to let it speak for itself. There's a lot more.
Islam, Grand Sheikh. Islam to all the Moors worldwide who are within the reach of our voices. I just want to say peace and love. I want to give high honors to all the prophets, both known and unknown. Of course, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, as you said, Grand Sheikh, for setting forth a platform to allow people to restructure their minds and claim back their vast estate. Right? We're doing stuff daily, trying to combat the system, which we are plagued by, but he said it's going to be given back to us in a battle that can't be told in words. So with that being said, I created a platform to help myself tell a story, plus to help those who are able to hear the story help themselves by knowing more or wanting to know more. All right, so I'm going to lead with the mission statement for my site that I put up. And the mission statement is as follows. No More Daily was developed with a Rotarian character and guided by the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Aims to deliver daily informational content geared to address the cognitive dissonance and the constitutional psychopathic inferiority which plagues the consciousness of the American Aborigine, aka Moors, of North, Central, and South America, who have been burdened by reconstructed history. I think the mission statement is direct and to the point because it is what it is. I was born, just like many of those who are listening, into a situation in which they told me certain things about myself. But it wasn't until I took the onus upon myself to study for myself that the truth to me. Right? No man can drink the water for you. Like they say on some rap songs, right? What you eat don't make me defecate or shit, right? But that's the truth. You have to do this thing yourself. That's why the Most High, Allah, gave you an individual body, right? Because we're all here on our own individual journeys. And like Grand Sheik was alluding to, right? Moors, whether they conscious, unconscious, whether they quote unquote have melanin in them or a lighter mix of amalgamation in them, right? You have this thing called your subconscious. The subconscious is always picking up on things, whether you are aware of it or not. So you're constantly learning, whether you want to accept it or not.
Hold on 1 second. 1 second more. So you just said that it doesn't have anything to do with how you look or whatever. There's a higher thing. So
it's a higher thing.
So you're saying that the white man's really not the devil?
I'm letting you know that the white man, quote unquote, white man is not the devil. Right? Because let's be honest with this thing. You can't say that you were the first of anything. Here we are now knowing that there are multiplicities out of that original mixture and not accept that which you see now came from you. What I try to ask people to do is claim all of it. Because when you claim all of it, you get to embrace it, love it, sectionalize it, and put everything in order inside of the one body politic. Does that make sense, Grand Sheik?
Islam, for sure.
Islam.
Complete sense.
So with that being said, right, some people who are into Freemasonry understand where the apron, right, and the necktie come from when it comes to the quote unquote white man, right? Because there's stories saying some folks got marched across the desert wearing stuff like that. I'm not part of the organization, and what I'm saying is hearsay. But just know that if you embrace all of it, you can start to put things back in their proper perspective, right? So Drew Ali told me, Noble Drew Ali told me that in order for a man to see himself, he needs a foe. So I ask you, is the white man the devil? Or is it just a foe to make you better? Is this whole thing set up to apply, as Jeezy put out his album, pressure on you to either make the diamond or just ground that coal up into nothingness? You know, so the choice is on the individual, you know, but again, your subconscious is always picking up on things, whether you are aware of it or not. So I would tell people to be aware of what's going on, to know what's going on, because guessing puts you into a reactionary type of state. And I look out into the world and I see a lot of highly melanated folks, aka Moors, are very reactionary. They're not taking the time to actually know, right? So that's why you could have YouTube personalities getting all high strung on videos, and that becomes enticing to you. You're guessing at what they're saying is truthful or not, as opposed to know what they're saying is truthful or not. And again, we all participants in this thing called life. So we're going to constantly have people force feed you information or bull by its reins or by its horns and guide it. So with that being said, I created a platform, No More Daily, to help people know a little bit more about what's going on, but also to share my personal story, right? Because it's a journal of an American Aborigine. right? The definition of American, and I don't know if people know, but
Peace,
found
bro.
here.
Yo, we're getting some disturbance right now.
Oh,
We're getting some
Islam.
disturbance. Yeah.
Islam. Can you hear me a little better?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was alluding to the fact that a journey of an American Aborigine, right? So what the site is actually a journal or a place for me to share my stories of being Moor, right? Of course, I want to share some history. I want to share how the history and the law tie in, right? Because that is an important aspect of exercising my social status, right? Because status is your relationship to the society, right? And like I put in the last blog on Can People Be Black 3, nobody even told me I had a status to society or relationship to society, right? I think things like that are character. Stuff like that you should know in kindergarten, right? Not that you are of color or that you are from a continent that's made up of multiple countries and you don't know which country you're from, but you just got American on the end, right? So you can't be African American, right? So I'm here, with a multitude of questions. So No More Daily, again, is just a way for me to question myself, but also question the populace, right? And share stories that maybe will help us put our minds back together, because it's mind power shared that creates anything in this reality. Because, I'm a part of a group. That group is the Moorish nation. Islam?
Now how, obviously, this is not something for Moors per se, right? Like it seems like it's open to anybody to just know More Daily, like how I look at
Right.
it. You know what I'm saying?
Islam.
Would you consider that a one mind concept? And if so, like, how did you come to that, to this being a reality and then manifesting it with the site?
Okay, yes. Good question. So Moorish science, even though it's all umbrellaed under Moorish science, for lack of a better word, Moorish science was not the only school of thought that I studied as I am here on the planet, right? So I had a very influential by the name of Jadot Krishnamurti. Jadot Krishnamurti was supposed to be the leader of the Theophilus Society with Madame Blavatsky, and them people over there. What he introduced to me was the studying of the mind and seeing how it actually operates moment to moment, second to second, recognizing that in your head, most of them might be ego driven. Most of them might be centered around emotions that currently me 2 weeks ago, right? Now, maybe they just said a word.
Hold on, they're hating on you again.
Yeah. Oh, it's law. It might be where I'm walking in my
all right. Oh, they got away on that one then.
Islam. So what I was saying is that somebody might have hurt you, maybe with some words 2 weeks ago. Right? Now the onus is on the individual. Am I gonna hold on to that hurt? Is that feeling even real? Which is not, because it happened 2 weeks ago. So what it allowed me to see was that the mind is a tool, and it's not really to be used per se like that all the time, right? Because it's a technical thing. It's technical in nature, and it's also fractionary. It's not holistic. It's not one free-flowing stream. You jump into bits and pieces of it. So what a lot of people try to do at times is just utilize the mind as it's the end all be all. Like it can totally encompass the wholeness of the vastness of what is that particular moment, which it can't because it's only fractionary, right? So what Judeo-Krishnamurti allowed me to do is to see the fractionary nature of the whole movement of the mind and how to better allow the mind to serve me as the mechanical tool it is, right? So now when people do things happen, I are able to assess what is happening. And what they say, that you circle your passions and square your emotions. You know, forgive me because, you know, I haven't read it for Ron, you know, in like maybe a week, right? So I don't know exactly what it says in there, right? At this moment in time, but I'm paraphrasing. Again, in that moment, I'm able to circle my passions and square my actions. So now I'm not out of bounds acting on a mechanical feature which is not real. So now I can deal with the facts. Right? So Judeo-Krishnamurti allowed me to be able to understand how to deal with the facts. So again, as I was alluding to, I was in the only school that I was a part of. That I was younger, was about the ripe age of maybe 10 or 11, right? Had a member of the Fruit of Islam. So what he presented to me way back then was the 120 lessons. And he used to have all these, for lack of better words, stringy questions in there, right? Like the circumference of the planet, you know, how much of the land mass is the region Asiatics. Just these interesting questions. Understand what was going on. Because, not funny, but I'm sure a lot of the listeners, when they were born into this reality, they might have felt that they had at least some superpowers or some type of, I don't know, some difference about them. And they just was trying to remember like what happened to, you know, the other skill set I had. Right? So I was always a individual thinker.
Yo, it's breaking up again.
Oh, sorry. So after coming into a little bit of more science and being in the movement for a while, having worked in some enterprises as far as in the military, working for quote unquote banks here in the Charlotte territory, I recognized maybe how things should be done on a grander scale. So I saw that it was too easy to really be active and not passive. What happens, I think, sometimes is people come into the information and recognize that they are in a situation that it appears to be constantly against them. But we understand now that knowledge is power. Noble Drew Ali told you that you are part and parcel of this government. John Henry Clark told me that my name ties me to a landmass. What I'm telling you is I have nowhere to go other than be here in America. So I have to figure out what to work here, right? Because I know I was born, quote, on the landmass known as Jamaica. Right? And then when I came to America, I was fooled with the citizenship of an American. Studying the literature of what Noble Drew Ali brought me, he showed me where the landmass of the Moorish Empire was marked out. Studying the word Moor, Moor means dark-skinned people. So he said he wanted active. Bro, I was alluding to earlier, I am ex-military, so I'm a little bit older. I'm 40 years old in age. I have a Kandake and 2 children. So I don't have the freedom to just be in the streets, going to all types of events, just having bills with any and everybody. Right? I had to figure out a better way to try to do this. So I said, hey, I know this information. I have a litany of books here, a plethora of books here. How am I going to go about getting out this information? Right? I see from a multitude of people making videos. I'm really not one for the camera, even though I have no
sorry. If you could stay right here, here it's good right here.
Okay, I apologize.
It's all good.
So, so I'm not one to make videos per se, even though I can make a video. So I just had to figure out a way for me to share what I felt I could to the plight of all of us, right? So I figured I'll start a website. I did my little research. I went on YouTube because YouTube is a jewel. I don't know if people really recognize it. It's a jewel, right? And I said, let me figure out how to create a website. And I learned how to create a website. There are templates out there that you don't have to actually do the coding to create the website. All you have to do is just choose a template and upload it. So I picked a template and I uploaded the images I wanted to it. So now I have a website. It cost me XYZ amount to host, right? So I'm hosting the site for 2 years. So now, what content am I going to put on there? Right? I don't want to put the same content that is already out there, right? I want to deal with the matter because being a quote unquote ex-military individual, it's about being practical and having useful things, right? Because there's no point in just creating just to create because you can. That's wastefulness. I want to have a product or a platform in which people can really get some use out of it. But I'm not going to spoon feed you because, again, as I alluded to in the beginning, we are all here on our own individual journey, right? Who's even to say that me or Grand Sheik Cujo is completely on the right path? Nobody knows until you make the transition. All you can do while you're here is be the best version of yourself that you can, right? Drew Ali told me love was the #1 principle. So everything I try to do is from a loving standpoint, right? If you have any more other questions, Grant, you can interject anytime.
There's a lot more. No worries.
It's all. So what that caused me to do was to just go ahead and put up the site. All right, boom. Now we got a site. No more daily. The first set of posts that I have on there was a book challenge by a Moor on Instagram. His name was Prince J. Moore L. Right? It was a literacy challenge. So what happened was I did the literacy challenge for, of course, the alphabet. Those videos, and I uploaded them. I was like, what am I going to do with these videos? It's pretty good breakdown. So I just figured, let me upload this stuff on the site, right? Because you have a site now. And then I was like, what is a central theme that I think everybody could rally around? You know, and of course, you know, I talked to other Moors offline, like my brother Nabi, like my brother Nasir, of course, like you, Cujo. And I was like, hey, what can I present to the family, you know, to help them get in a better place? So the post, can I be black? Can people be black? Was brought forth. And obviously, you know, if you read the post or if you just look down at your hand, you can see that you cannot be black. What I attempted to do was just highlight certain key things, right? Like, for instance, the case with William Dungy and Abraham Lincoln, right? In that case, William Dungy brought his brother to court for slander, right? The slander was being called a Negro. How many people nowadays call themselves nigger, blacks, African Americans, Negroes, whatever other derogatory term, but yet none of y'all go to court behind it? Here was a president, this is when he was a lawyer, but a president was in court. You know those in courthouses, but he brought a suit in court and presented a matter behind somebody being called a Negro. That really needs to sink into people's heads.
Yeah, for real.
You understand what I'm trying to tell you? So if I'm going back and I'm reading history that says things like this, for you to be calling yourself anything other than something with a national implication is crazy.
Okay, now, okay, let me ask you this, because since you're practical, right?
Right.
Like, what is it then with our people? Because it's the same thing that when we were coming up, we studied all this stuff or whatever, and then we hear something, Noble Ali, who's that? I never heard what this guy before. I've been studying, never heard what this guy. Let me go check, see what this is about or whatever. You know, and you come to that realization that, okay, something has to change right now. Like, you can't even keep doing on the same path. You know, like there has to be something that you know what I mean. So, what do you think it is that has our people in freeze that they just can't move? You know? Like,
again, I feel. Right, I'm not gonna say I believe, because it's more so a feeling with me nowadays. Right? I don't believe too much stuff. Right? So I feel it has to do with them just associating or liking to not do nothing. You understand? Like, a lot of people are complacent, right? Life has a lot of people in a very bad situation, a very bad way. So they don't care too much about many things in our reality. So like you just alluded to, right? I told you I was searching, because I'm always seeking, always searching, right? I found out a person by the name of Noble Drew Ali, right? This is after me hearing about him when Ghostface was like, "It's me, Black Noble Drew Ali." I was like, it didn't even click with me, like, who's that, right? But once I brought into his work and recognized that his work was in the beginning of something which is recognized right now as one of the better institutions for our people, such as the Nation of Islam, but his work was this flame that sparked that. And y'all don't talk about him at all? Something is up, right? So I personally had to find out more about it, right? So then, you know, I made a quick IG clip saying that I'm not a temple Moor. Please understand, it's not because I didn't try to go to the temple. I went to a temple to see if they were teaching along the same lines of the way I was understanding what Noble Drew Ali brought. Because he said, it's going to take you 50 years to understand what I brought to you. And when I walked through the temple door, and all these individuals were trying to do was just have a town hall meeting in church, it didn't seem that it correlated with the active civic instruction in which the prophet brought. Then understanding through the Cook County's recording of the organization that things changed, you know, to an INC 501c3 type of situation. So me seeing these details and understanding that roadblocks are often put in the way of grassroots movements that can really catalyze change, right? Such as the Black Panther movement. You know, they were doing everything right other than just calling themselves Black, right? So that's why they were able to infiltrate and eradicate that movement like they were able to, right? So when I found Drew Ali back again and recognized that he first founded a civics organization initially. He didn't found the temple sing-song stuff first, right? Then understanding that he himself was Cherokee, if it was just about being quote unquote Indian, right? Why he didn't found the Indian temple of whatever? You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
These are just the questions that I have from the outside looking in.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? So understanding that he founded a civics organization, he told me that I'm part and parcel. He's telling me that the European is not from here. I understand that they're not from here because they came over here and they had this thing called a Mayflower Compact. And that's how they were able to start their own, quote unquote, little government. Right then, reading the articles of association, articles of confederation, and understanding that everything that they're doing is just for them and their posterity. Then also recognizing about the 1861 scene a day, we working out of Congress type of deal, and nothing is going on. Then seeing videos like the birth of a nation, and seeing that you got people in there in blackface eating chicken and watermelon. Right, so I'm analyzing all of this stuff like, yo, it can't be just some rudimentary nonsense. Why would they go to the extent of putting people in blackface in a 4-hour film, Birth of a Nation, in Congress? Like, why would they do that if they weren't already Moors operating in Congress? And me understanding that George Washington was a general, right? Before he was a president, being ex-military, I know you had to serve somebody. And you get your orders from the top, general, but you wasn't at the top. So who was running the country? This is just stuff that I'm looking at, you know, before I jumped out there and just stopped, you know, paying all my bills, because I was, you know, I'm really kind of a, for lack of better word, balls to the wall, kind of go all out type of individual when I recognize that it's real, you know. So before I did all that, I had to make sure I had my ducks in a row. Was it the best way to go about doing it? Probably not. You know, I'm still dealing with some repercussions of that. But you know what? Knowing more daily has allowed me to learn of tools that are in the reality that can help you get back to where you were initially, right? So with that being said, you got what you can in order to get yourself out of a tough predicament. So since I recognize, like I was telling you, that we know as more, we're part and parcel of the said government, I can't run away from the government. I can't do things that will cause a bad light to be upon me from said government. You understand?
Right.
So you asking me what turned on in me to say that I can't be black? It was my recognition of all these things, right? To know that black people get shot down in the street. Black people have no standing at law via Barack Hussein Obama telling Tom Joyner this. And, you know, I want to say I'm really thankful for such platforms as Sister Standing a Law and the Amir Taj Tariq Bey, right, for being the studious, stern type of individuals they are, right? Because if it wasn't for the serious nature in which they relayed the message, I'm not saying I'd have brushed it off, but it probably wouldn't have came through as clear as it needed to be for me to hear it, so I can do something with the information.
Now is that because some people can't take that stern position. So like, do you think that's individuals, or is that your military that makes you?
That's individual, because my mother was stern in that fashion. Right? Remember, I grew up on the island. I mean, my mother, you know, she didn't have shoes until she was 10 years old, and she was still going to school though. You know what I'm saying? But she gave me everything I ever wanted. You understand? So like, when she used to tell me to do stuff, I'm gonna always do it. know what I'm saying? Because I understand why you're telling me to do this stuff, right? And that was the same era of familiarity that I got listening to Raz Mariah, Sister Anna E, right? Listening to a Queen Galaharia, right? Listening, like I said, to Taj. Listening to a Set and Rod give a class. Listening to a Seer give a class. Listening to Dr. Aline Bay give classes, right? Matter of fact, listening to, you know, the Moor who I really wish I could have met was C. Freeman L. Just listening to him give classes, right? And C. Freeman L. touched on multiple shit. You see what I'm saying? He brought you from the history to metaphysics to practicing the sciences to meditating in class. You see what I'm saying? True. So these are the individuals who I look. Oh, let me throw Bobby Hemmett in there too, right? Because Bobby didn't have to put on a fast for me ever once, because Bobby always made sure to tell me that the Moors is the ones who was giving up all this information.
Say it again. Say it again. Say it again.
I tell people, but if they go back and they listen, you know, because again, No More Daily. I told you I have a plethora of books. If you watch any of Bobby's videos, Bobby always gave you a lengthy book. So if you think that you're gonna just go to quote unquote the temple and have your divine bylaws in one hand and the questionnaire and the constitution in the other, and that's it, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you. It's not that simple, right? You have to do more. You have to be more daily, though. You gotta constantly be a builder. You know what I mean? You gotta constantly build. You know what I mean? Like we playing Tetris for real. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
So like right now, we should be actually building that Tower of Babel to get the king mad, so he could be like, "Yo, let's go back down there and mess up all their language again." But we on the ass end, we with the backward language, and we ain't building nothing. You see what I'm saying? So, No More Daily was designed to help reanimate the culture and bring people back to that particular mindset. You know, because it's our minds that are plagued, that have been conditioned with what he said, the chasing after the foreign gods of whom they did not, of whom, right? That's what happens to you when you go into kindergarten. We are learning the English language, but English is a bastardized language. Remember, it started over in England. You can say, and again, they were taught something by somebody. But if you're not studying to recognize how everything kind of falls in line, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. So that's why when, you know, people say everything isn't for everybody, I look along those lines, because I think we're all genius in our own fashion. You know what I'm saying? Notice I said our own fashion, right? Because, you know, everybody might not be book smart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some people might just know how to finesse a good sale. Some people might just know how to make clothes. Some people might know just how to build, you know, do carpentry, right? Like, I've seen the movie Divergent, right? Everybody had positions. The only thing that was bad with the movie Divergent is that they wouldn't allow people to go into other things that they wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, as quote unquote, you know, Black people here in America right now, I don't know if people recognize we kind of forced to a divergent situation. Either you gonna rap or you gonna play sports. You gonna rap, be entertainer, or you gonna play sports.
For real.
Yo, what happened to the engineers? What happened to the freaking carpenters? Like, how many? Like, I know John Deere. You know what I'm saying? But I should know Tito Bay. You know what I mean? Just like I know John Deere, I should know Tito Bay for having a construction company, especially on their own land. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So all I did was just start a little website, bro. Like, that's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should be doing man.
Yeah, for real.
Man, listen, Marcus Garvey had ships in the ocean, bro. He had big ships in the ocean hundreds of years ago, man. What are we doing? We think we got something because we get Instagram fame or something. You little stardom on for 10 seconds. Like, stop it, man. Stop it. But go ahead. What else you got for me, Grancy? What else you want to say?
So, with regard to the whole thing with the mission statement, and addressing hold on, I'm just pulling it up because there was something specific I was thinking about. Okay, the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and Rotarian character. Now, how could you talk about those things if you're not a Temple Moor?
Oh, I had a great post today. See if I can pull it up real quick. It was a Dr. Sadie clip, right? And Dr. Sadie said, once you love yourself first, it's easy to love the world, right? So what I found under there, because Drew Ali said some of my best Moors are still in the church, right? And he told you to keep your Bibles. I pulled up Matthew 19, verse 19. It says, honor your father and mother and love your neighbor as yourself, right? So Rotarian character is a selfless nature. Yeah? Yes, Islam?
Islam.
So if you're trying to live the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, it has to be demonstrated in a manner. It has to. You're sharing principles. Nobody's a principle. You can embody a principle, but nobody is a principle, right? So in order to embody these things, you have to do it in a particular fashion, and that fashion has to be initiated with selflessness. So you ask me, how can I share the principles via a Rotarian character? It is through demonstrating selflessness, right? By putting up a site called No More Daily, right? Because again, just like you, just like me, the books are in our homes. We don't got to go search for this information no more. You see what I'm saying? Of course, you want to continue to learn and build and see how everything else connects, but we have some good launch points right now if we're going to try to go forth and do stuff. But my thing is, what good is me just holding on to the information to myself going to do? I have children. I have a 12-year-old daughter and a 4-year-old son, right? So now, what world are they going to live in? You understand? Because this is about the babies, right? You know how we talk about trust law, right? Even when you create a trust, the trust is for the person who created the trust. It's for the beneficiary. You see what I'm saying? So the rest of the populace or the rest of the demographic is the beneficiaries of content that come off of No More Daily or content that come off of everyday publications or
Oh, they blocked me right now.
sites, you know.
They just blocked all that. They just blocked all that. Yeah, they blocked all that. Because I find it hard to believe that all this disturbance is just you at your house, just walking around. Like,
because I've stopped walking for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, maybe 30 seconds ago it started tripping again.
Okay.
But it's all good. Where yours good. You're straight now. But yeah, carry on.
Islam. So, I lost my train of thought.
I know. They killed it. So they killed it. That was the plan too, these bastards. That's why I haven't been stopping you, because it'll start tripping. I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me just let them go. And then I leave it and then starts tripping a little bit. I'm like, frick, I'm gonna say something. And then it starts working. I'm like, okay. But
Islam.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. So how's your time looking?
Yeah, we can go. We can go. I got another 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
All right. So there's some questions that we got emailed, so I'm just gonna send to some of those out there.
Yeah, just ask a question. I'll see if I have anything.
If you could speak on this one, Brother Bay sent this. He's in a territory where he went through the temple and then got with some Great Seal Moors. And these Great Seal Moors had everything on like a hush, right? And they were paying to do name corrections in the court.
And you said they were Great Seal Moors?
Yeah. Now, I don't know what level of Great Seal or if they're, I don't know, you know what I mean? I don't think they're our side of Great Seal Moors, you know, because you already know. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So, just my novice perspective.
Yeah.
The only Great Seal Moors that I know of, I knew of Taj Tariq Bey. I knew of yourself in Khalifa, in Canaanland. I knew of Seton Ra, of course, and I also knew of brother in Khalifa territory, Grand Sheikh Ramael, right? As far as Great Seal. Now, I don't know of any other Great Seal Moors, right? Because again, the Great Seal Moors that I know are active and they out there in front, so you can see the light shining.
Right.
So if doing stuff on a hush hush, that makes no sense to me. And then check this out. Why the hell are you going to the courthouse and you paying for name correction?
Paying.
You see, because you obviously don't know what a pauperous is. You don't know what a writ of pauperous is. But here you is trying some shit. And it's those people right there that's trying stuff, you know what I mean, that don't know. Like, listen. When I went to the Writs of Freedom page on RB-Bay Publications, there were like 9 different templates of writs that you can study and review to get an understanding. So obviously somebody didn't collect $200 and got thrown right in jail. They didn't even try to pass go. You're your own land. You're afforded certain freedoms, certain privileges, and paying up. This is speculation. It's not what I said. This is what T. McFadden told me. Trafficant reiterated. This is what happened. This is what I learned when the silver certificate. No.
Whoa.
I understand there's nothing backing it but faith. Full faith and credit. Right? And it's case law to tell me banks can't issue credit. But, again, I told you I'm here dealing with some nonsense because we allow 3 institutions, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, to run the world. You know what I'm saying? Behind their nonsense. But again, there's no Great Seal Moors that I know of that operate in that fashion. So to Brother Bay, I would say run away.
Yeah, he
Take
did.
some time to yourself and study.
He did say that was a red flag.
There are many classes that you put online. There's individuals who you can call and get consultations with if you want to go that route. But I would say seek understanding first before you go out there paying for your butt to get a hard-learned lesson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He did say that was a red flag when he heard that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good. So he's been studying.
Yeah, exactly. This is from Brother Taylor. I have a few questions about the Islam you or Moors follow. Do you practice any Orthodox or Sunni Muslim? Do you follow the Hadith or the Sunnah? Do you fully believe and follow the Holy Quran? Do you believe that Muhammad was the final prophet of Islam? Do you follow the 5 pillars of Islam? Thanks. Been trying to understand.
I thank you for that question. So I created a shirt to address just that. It's on the site. It's called the Islam shirt. I, self, law, and master. Right? Because as I alluded to in the beginning of the broadcast, that we all have individual missions. Right? So I look into the word religion, right? And I recognize that the word means to bind back to. So what is higher than truth? There's nothing higher than truth. There's no religion higher than truth. So I'm gonna only bind myself back to the truth. Now, can aspects of the truth be found in various dogmatic systems? Yes. There can be aspects of truth in Christianity, in Sunni Islam, in Buddhism, right? Because honestly, when I first started on this philosophical, metaphysical journey, books like Lao Tzu, you know what I'm saying? Sun Tzu, right? Because I wanted to know about the Tao and what was it, right? You know, so I wouldn't say that people should, you know, lock themselves into any one dogmatic religion. But I would say that there are certain tenets that can be utilized from all aspects of religions. Like for instance, when fellas make what is salat when they bend down and pray, right? That bending act of prostration, right? I recognize that. Okay, this is me being spooky. This is me letting y'all in, right? So when I have certain aha moments that I really recognize that, yo, things are just working so harmoniously, so much in synchronicity, I can't do nothing but fall to my knees and bow in that fashion. Just bow myself unto that which is. So I can see the benefit of that motion in prayer. Now, I know where the Coptic cross came from, right? I was told that alludes to cosmos. The cosmos, you know, is the zodiac. So do I have a problem with the cross? No, I don't have a problem with the cross per se, because I understand what it's alluding to. Do I have the quote unquote Catholic? No, I don't have a problem with that because I know what their science of that glass. You see, just like when they were using the organs in those cathedrals, they were certain aspects of the human being. So again, you can take bits and pieces of whatever religion it is out there and utilize it for its beneficial aspects. But I wouldn't lock myself into doing everything the way that XYZ did it just because XYZ say do it that way. Islam?
Islam, more. Islam. Let me see what else.
I got some more time if you want.
Yeah, I got there's a few more. You just hit those up.
Hopefully my answers are satisfactory.
Oh, most definite. I don't even need to add on. Straight. This is from Brother Aikahu. I am keen to get more, or Islam Moors, I am keen to get more information on nationality, civic education, particularly in Canaanland. I domicile in Vancouver. I am keen to learn more and gain more understanding on how I can become nationalized and play my part in uplifting humanity, as well as meet up with fellow Moors in my region. I am a Kenyan national, and I have begun studies with the help of RV Bay publication, but as a Canaanland resident, I feel I need to understand and overstand our nationality and birthrights in regard to Canaanland. Your help is very much appreciated. Islam.
Islam,
So,
I'll let you handle that one. That's your territory.
Yeah. So what the concept that we want most Moors to digest when they say that they're in this territory is that everything that we've been taught was not really what it is. There's a totem pole. If you're in Vancouver, there's a totem pole that has a man at the ocean with his hands outstretched with a fez on, as far as Vancouver is concerned. Now that would let you know how much of the connection there is, just from the perspective of you not even being from here. You're Kenyan and you're gravitating towards proclaiming your nationality, nationalizing, playing your part in uplifting fallen humanity. So stick where you're at, rvbaypublications.com, right? We'll definitely reach out because it'll just be a more amazing build to just build. So I'm gonna connect you with that. And the fact that you're Kenyan talking like this is also a sign to the Negro, Black, colored people or whatever about how real this really is. Because Kenyan's not coming over here trying to find out about if he's ancient Egyptian or Hebrew Israelite or whatever. What's pulling him is that he's connected to the Moors. Right? I don't know if you have anything to add on there, Moor.
No, I was just gonna say, you have a walking, breathing example up there in Brother Longley.
Yep.
You know, so like the proof is in the pudding. Like it's to that point now. You know, it's to that point, right? Because I'm sure there have been Moors who have stood on, for lack of better word, beating a ticket or whatever.
Yeah.
Like just the fact that you can get a citation thrown out, writ. Well, I have utilizing a writ lets you know the reality of it. That in order for somebody to actually adjudicate on you, they have to have a delegation of authority order. Just knowing that and seeing how you learn that from being around quote unquote Moors, right? Active people who study civics. That should show you the realness of the information, right? Like I was, you know how we build in your class all the time, but just like last week when I told them all, I said, do you recognize the importance of understanding who Noble Drew Ali is and was and what he actually did? Like you having a real solid, firm grasp on that in these days and times, like on the planet, because there's people who don't know this information, period. Like it's people who died that don't know that they're Aboriginal indigenous, that they are the founders of civilization. You see what I'm saying? Like they don't know that they are a global people and you really did things on a global level. You understand? Like just to know that you're giving off a different frequency in the reality. You see what I'm saying? And then when you become what you really, really know, like you often clown me sometimes too. You be asking me how come I travel on the road and don't get accosted. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of horror stories. And I tell you straight up, it's just my mindset. I don't know. I don't know why people don't bother me. You know, it's not like I go out there looking for trouble either. You know, but you know what you know. You're gonna be what you are, man. So it's
this one is from brother Navi Bay. They were building. This is just some couple questions that arose from bills that he's just having with different Moors. Can you elaborate on Yucatan being the cradle of civilization, the woman being the creator in real time, and you already addressed the difference between Islam dogma and Islam master.
That's why.
Right, and just so you know, right, we know that brother Navi Bay is in the chat, but this was sent 8 hours ago. So it's not like he just sent this and we're trying to look like we're in tune and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you answered the last question.
Yeah. Navi knows stuff. Navi needs to be on here on the phone with me, like, you know, like how I'm doing. But we're gonna get it together, right, brother Navi? We're gonna start bringing the people some well discussed topics, right? Could you read the question to begin? I forgot. No, I got it. So you can recognize about the Yucatan part if you get a book called "When Rocks Cry Out" by Horace Butler. He alludes to a lot of things in there, right? A lot of things that
you know what's funny because. Because the way you just said that, like he alludes to things, a lot of things in there, right? His illusions are crazy.
Right. Yeah.
Like he really takes you somewhere. You know what I mean? Like he really allows your mind to go to certain places. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was an amazing group. But now, go ahead, Mark.
Because he paints a picture for you. He paints a picture for you, right? Which is what books should do. That's why reading is important. Reading allows you to teleport to another space and time via the mind, right? So there's a fellow on the IG. He's a good noble. His name is F.B. Rawls. He out in Houston territory. I believe he had put a post speaking about what Horace Butler's When Rocks Cry Out. And Horace Butler actually responded back to him, saying that his book sales went up dramatically once he was talking about the information that was contained in When Rocks Cry Out, right? Yeah. So again, the book talks about over here being the cradle of civilization. You understand? So now, look, I'm not a rocket scientist, right? But what I can do is I can visually put the land masses back together in my mind. Who's to say where people were when it broke apart? Nobody can say that they were there when it happened. What we can do is look at things in history. They say it was a Nile Valley. It's a Nile River that flows down in over here. When they go look up the oldest relics of human beings, it's found over here. Shout out to brother Toriano over Shango L.
Islam.
Right? And the brother over there in Perth. Brother Tyrone Cannon. Right? Brother Cannon does work with blood. Right? So what I was able to do via dealing with brother Toriano was to get some research that shows via my chromosome groups where life started. And I am here to tell you, it didn't start in Africa. Okay? So with that being said, you know, I'm all about the Yucatan being the original place and the birthplace, because that ties into the Yakub experiment as well. You know, that the Amir alludes to sometimes. First, you can pick up that book also from RVBaypublications.com if you want to read into it yourself, right? Because I'm still trying to understand where the giants came from, right? Because the Smithsonian got a bunch of giants in their museum, and those are found all up and down the Mississippi River, which could be considered a Nile. But hey, we just speculating, right?
Right.
We just speculating.
Well,
yeah.
Well, and then there's also the Giants book, and then that Giants book is relating to that one is relating to, you know, 8-foot people or whatever like that. But those were the small people.
Facts, right? So it's a dude right now on IG. I'm trying to tie it in real time. So it's a dude right now on IG. His name is Gullah Carolina. He just put up a image of where it seems like it's him, his kandake, and his offspring. They all have 6 fingers. I tried to allude before to show people that I too have 12 fingers, 6 on each hand, right? Now they said that the giants had double of each appendage, so they had 12 fingers, 12 toes, and double row teeth.
Right.
If we are descended from the originals, you tell me where that comes from. You tell me where that characteristic comes from. Because I was born this way, and I told you I'm not from the continent of Africa, right? I believe the book you were alluding to is called well, this is the book I got. It's called The Ancient Giants Who Ruled America.
Yeah.
It's The Missing Skeletons and the Great Smithsonian Cover-Up by Richard J. Dewhurst. I've yet to crack the book open, but it has a plethora of images that you just can't doctor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
just put that one out there again.
Again, this book I have is called The Ancient Giants Who Ruled America, The Missing Skeletons and the Great Smithsonian Cover-Up by Richard J. Dewhurst. That's Dewhurst. And there's another book. I'm not sure if this one has the Giants stuff in it, right? But this book is called Secrets of Ancient America, Archaeoastronomy and the Legacy of the Phoenicians, Celts, and other forgotten explorers. And this one is by Carl Lehrberger. That's Carl, Lehrburger. So again, I dropped a hint, because we know the Phoenicians were dark-skinned people, and the original Celts were the Moors.
Dark-skinned people.
Or the Twa, right? The Twa pygmy people is what they are called, alluded to them, right? And if you want to get more in depth on that one, right, then you hit up freaking Ancient and Modern Britons, Volume 1, and you just skim through it. So let me just skim through a page. Let's see what I can find. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, this page. No, does it pick those? No, let's. Is that what this is? Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna read that. Let them go pick up the book, right? Like Bobby didn't read all the information on the videos. He said, "Here's the book. Let's go get it." Right? But he gave you a whole lot of books.
Right.
And if people aren't stacking material in their library, to pass on to their progeny, or to be able to combat the people who keep telling them that they ain't nothing, then I don't know what their problem is, right? Because I'm not from Missouri, but he's going to show me things. You know what I'm saying? So you got to show something to say you know something, right? And I can show you facts, right? Morris can show you facts.
Yep.
And we can get emotional with y'all. We can get high strung with y'all. So why? Why get high strung? I just let the facts do talking.
Oh yeah, and then the second part was the woman being the creator in real time.
Yes. So the woman being the creator. Did I tell you about my conversation with Norm, the preacher, that I had last week?
No.
Barbershop.
Oh yeah. You did. Yeah. You can put that one up there. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna leave it at this, right? We had a very interesting conversation. Norm was able to grasp all the concepts we were sharing back and forth with understanding the Helios Biblios, or the Bible, right? But he was very adamant about him being the head of the household, right? About his wife receiving his seed and then going forth doing, kind of like what she's told. And I had to ask him, I said, yo, why are you so adamant about a religion that keeps the woman in a state of being a Holy Ghost? Because you got the Father, the Son, and then you got this Holy Ghost character. And I'm just like, yo, can she not get her proper representation? Okay, he didn't say too much. So then I had to tell him, I said, hey, you do understand that every human vessel that comes into being first starts off as a female egg. he said, "That's the end of our conversation, brother," and he was out. Now, as I told him during the whole conversation, I said, "You're not arguing with me. You're arguing with the facts, right? Because all I could do is speak what I know. So it's not like I'm making anything up. Just like the books I recited to you, it's like any information that myself or Brother Cujo speaks about, right? It's all facts. So there's no need to get all cognitive dissonance in your feelings. You understand? Because that's what we're here to address. We're here to address the cognitive dissonance and your constitutional psychopathic inferiority complex, right? Because you thinking that you're not part of the government. You thinking the government's out to get you. The government hates you. No, the government, just like the world, hates ignorance. If you get smart and start holding quote unquote politicians accountable for their mishaps, what do you really think is going to happen? Is the world going to end, or is the world going to is it going to fix itself?
For real.
You understand? But if you don't know anything, how can you point out the faults? It's just that simple, man. It's not a real rocket science equation. It's either you on the side that know or you on the side that's getting used. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather put myself on the side where, you know, I can know what's going on, you know, and effectuate change in that fashion. So for him to say that the matriarch is not the creator, I don't know. It was just it's weird for me.
For real.
I know it's called Mother Earth, right? And anytime you put a seed in it, something comes out. You know what I'm saying? And you walk around on this thing the whole time, right? But you're not going to give the woman no honor like that. It's crazy. So you got one more? Okay, give me one more. I got one more on me.
All right. Here's this one. How does, or have you ever heard of Moorish Marshal of the Republic? Shield.
No.
Because
no, I've never heard of such a thing.
Okay, because he's seen Moors with it, like Brother Asir and Kinu Bey and some other people.
So now
this Moor,
the prophet said,
Moorish Marshal of the Republic, and then it says federal government, and it says since 1928.
Okay.
Now go ahead, Moor.
Now, what I can say is that the prophet said he brought everything it takes to save a nation. Have individuals taken that stance and started creating organizations to reanimate the culture? I can say yes, people have been doing that. Is what he's seeing an emblem that's affiliated with such group? Maybe that's what he saw. But to everybody else who's been doing studies in history, I can't say I've ever heard of that. But again, I'm a novice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I can't dispute it, and I can't say that it's
right,
it's
that
not
it's not
viable.
legitimate or whatever. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's just like right. It can't. It depends on. It's just energy. It depends on how you're utilizing the energy. Yeah. Are you really using it to benefit all other people here who fall under the category Moors, or is it just the select few who pay their yearly dues, right? Because some of these people, individuals, have yearly dues to be part of these organizations. Now, again, it takes finance to raise a nation, right? But so if you're doing things where you're charging dues and fees, whatever system it is, it has to be free and clear of hindrances to the due payers. You see what I'm saying? You can't say, yo, come and pay for this service. But even though you're paying for the service, you still got to do the work yourself. You can't do that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So again, I'm on the outside looking in. Yeah. I can't say it's not viable, and I can't say it won't work.
Right.
But I can say that I've heard stories of people having letters written back to them as if they're some type of diplomat, and people utilizing these letters that they get, like apostille letters, yada, yada, yada,
right, in
that fashion, as if they have some type of higher what's called it, higher role in this more science than anybody else.
Oh, like
right?
that's like another play that they use for the credibility or whatever.
I'm saying, yeah, you can't like because okay, yeah, you might be doing XYZ work. You might be doing XYZ work for 10 years.
Yeah.
Right? And so it makes you better than the rest of the Moors. You see what I'm saying? Because the state is everybody's, bro. It's everybody. It's not just yours. And you can't just say, "Oh, I'm gonna form this organization over here just for me." What other group of people do that? None. I haven't seen people do that. You see what I'm saying? So if you're gonna create situations, it would behoove you to create a situation that everybody knows about. Everybody is informed about. Everybody has the ability to get on the same sheet of music with. From there, you go out and execute as a body politic. Having these 7 of my homies, we just gonna sit around and come up with a plan, and then us 7 is just gonna go out there and execute, and then we're gonna try to build, you know, with whoever else comes along. Nah, I don't think that's the best way to do it. I think the best way to do it is actually to create the model, right? Discuss the model, see if the model is viable for everybody, regardless of whether they're knowledgeable or not, because you want to try to make something that's dummy-proof, right? That's why he formed a temple. The temple was there to help you when you didn't know nothing, help you build up your character, and then give you a little something so you can go out there and be great. What he also had there for you, he had the sisters auxiliary group, so the sisters could work together. He had the men's business group, so the men could work together on ideas. But it wasn't just, yo, you just come here and then after you learn something one time, you go out there and do something. Nah, the temple was an every week thing. You see what I'm saying? So if you're gonna build whatever situation it is, you know, if you're a Republic or whatever, I never heard of the crap, and I think I'm pretty active. I think I do 1 or 2 things. You know what I'm saying? I might not be in City Hall kicking down heads and, you know, taking names later, but you know, I know a few Moors that's doing some stuff. So for the fact that I never heard of what this Republic Shield, I never heard of it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
neither have I.
If it's really,
neither have I.
What, say again?
Neither have I.
Yeah. So I'm saying if it's really for everybody, why is it so hush hush, man?
Right.
And these are just the things that I look at from with my mind.
Right. No doubt. Yeah.
So I'm not knocking anybody and what they're doing, but yo, just make it so everybody knows.
Right.
And if it's really about that action, like it's supposed to be about that action, it wouldn't matter who know about it. You see what I'm saying? So that's like, I know I'm segueing right now.
No, you're good. You're good, Moor. You're good.
No, but that's why, like, I won't get on there and make a video to combat anything that's going on in the quote unquote conscious community, right? Because yo, energy goes where you put your. So if you put your attention on this nonsense that you already know the study is nonsense, you know it's nonsense. Why are you paying it any attention? Huh? You know what I'm saying? Like, because you think the masses is watching it? Like, if the masses really knew what was up, the masses wouldn't watch that. But you're not over here showing the masses what's up. You're not building things or creating products to help them really know what's good, because you're too busy looking at what other people are doing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're really trying to do something, do it. But make sure once you do it, put it out there for everybody to know, let it get critiqued, you know what I'm saying? Because it shouldn't be just for you. It's supposed to be for everybody. And if you don't want everybody critiquing your stuff, that means you really ain't building it for everybody.
Right.
That's just my take on it. You know what I'm saying?
Islam. And again, the same thing. I can't speak on that, but I can speak on a challenge token, and you know, the concept of invoking the constitutional law on the sheriff, challenging the sheriff's claim to authority and his oath to the Constitution, and him giving you a challenge token. And it's like it's like a shield, same thing like what he's talking about, like a type of badge or something like that that says the sheriff's name on it, says the county that he's the sheriff of, and you know, you just show that as your quote unquote, you know, authority in whatever jurisdiction.
This sounds so foolish, don't it? This what you say to me sounds stupid, right? Because, yo, bro, that's what they create legislation for.
Yeah.
Right? Why don't you? Okay. So it's easier for me to create individualized tokens to give individuals, so nobody will know about it, as opposed to create a form of legislation, right, to get everybody who's associated with whatever organization it is on the books. Kerry and his brother down in Virginia, they did the little thing to get at least the block of Moor on the voting thing, so people could at least identify as Moor on the document.
Right.
That's for everybody,
That's for everybody. Yeah.
That's for everybody. But you're gonna create tokens that just come on, man. Like stop it, man. Like it's this tomfoolery, bro. That's keeping you looking like a jerk.
The token's given by the sheriff, the actual sheriff.
Oh, so the sheriff is giving the one.
The sheriff is giving the token to whoever challenges his constitutional authority.
Oh, okay, so now it sounds like he's robbing people to step out of pocket. Is that's what it sounds like, right?
No finance or nothing. Like it's like
No, not money, but he's saying, okay, so what is the reason that I would have to challenge his constitutional authority in the first place?
Let's just say there's a situation where he should be dealing with it, opposed to the highwayman.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So knowing that he's actually the law, not the highwayman, by challenging his position and him not or him being in favor of his obligation to enforce the Constitution and not be just the guy who does evictions or whatever, he'll give you a token. Yeah, he'll give you a token for you to use.
Okay. So that's a reward system.
Yeah, like a reward, you know, a sheriff reward or some shit like that.
Okay. That's cool. I don't see how that really affects like the populace, but it's cool to say, hey, I know the responsibilities and duties of the elected official in my county, which should be like second grade knowledge for everybody, right? Because you're supposed to know what everybody who is quote unquote governing you does. Yeah,
exactly. Right. No, you're on. Yeah.
So he can give me a token, but is it gonna be like a get out of jail free card? Like it don't really matter to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool, I guess, but I don't want that. You know what I'm saying, I want you to do your job. I want you to stop these people from killing us in the street.
Right.
Right. Tell me that my 6-pointed star is really a slave catcher badge. Tell me that. You know what I'm saying? Let's build on that. Tell me that the freaking police are all part of a fraternal order. Tell me that. You see what I'm saying? That's what I want you to do. I mean, if you want to, I don't want no card. I want no nothing from you, man. I just want you to do your job, bro. That's all we want. We want people to do their job, right? But again, it's the populace who don't know enough to hold the quote unquote government accountable, right? Because it says that the sovereign people will give up a percentage of their freedom in order to be governed. That's where government comes from. But you can't claim to be sovereign anything if you don't know what sovereignty entails. Like I had a friend of mine, who was asking me some information, right, about nationality and birthrights and all this stuff. Now, remember, this is my friend, so we had numerous conversations, so I had to stop him and ask him one day. I said, have you ever read the Constitution?
Mm-hmm.
And he never read the Constitution. You see what I'm saying? But you want to get out here and start, again, kicking heads and, and taking names later. That's not how it works. You have to start with the basics. You see what I'm saying? And people, they're not even dealing with the basics, right? Because Because you asked me before, you said, what is it with people that why they can't get away from the black thing or the African American thing? With me, I came in and I recognized, you at least set up some basic tenets. And one of the basic ones was the 101 questionnaire. If you really read the document and understand what it's saying to you, things take on a whole different meaning, right? What I really ask all those who are listening, who are sincere in their appreciation for what Noble Drew Ali brought as far as tying us back to our vast estate. I ask that y'all take that Holy Quran and you go buy a metaphysical Bible dictionary, right? From what is this? Unity Christian School, and you read Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America along with this metaphysical Bible dictionary from Unity Christian School, and define the words that you think you know, the characters that you think you know in there, and you'll see why Noble Drew Ali told you every word he speaks is spirit. I'm sure he knew what the word spirit means, right? That breath, but at the end of the day, what he was telling you, man, was out of this world, bro. Mm-hmm. Because because I don't think he came in wanting to do civics initially. I think he raised the metaphysician.
The metaphysics, yeah. That's really what it was about, yeah. But people were ready. People were ready.
Yeah. It's like how I'm gonna talk to you about like for instance, right? We can go to people and tell them that, yo, wizards and warlocks and witches are real. Do you know that? They can be like, what are you talking about? Like, you know that the word spelling actually goes back to the word grammar actually goes back to grimoire, which means magic. You know what I'm saying? And spelling is literally spelled. If you talk to people from the aspect, they're gonna look at you like, man, you crazy. But no, like that's what it means. Like for instance, like a witch is nothing more than a wise woman. Yeah. So you trying to tell me, hey, wise woman walking around here all day? But again, So again, it's important to understand what words mean, right? That's why one of my first posts on No More Daily was the 8 parts of speech. Because you can't have a conversation with people if you don't know what they're actually saying to you. Mm-hmm. And we have been conditioned to be so pompous, so high up on ourselves. It's time to recognize what we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I was always I was a cool dude, but I was always an in-betweener. I was never cool enough to get all the attention. I was never cool enough to be with all the people doing X, Y, Z. So I was just kind of always on my own. So I always had to kind of figure things out myself. You know what I mean? And it was that you got to figure it out yourself kind of mind that allowed me to get to kind of where I'm at now with any of this information. You know what I'm saying? Because you I know you, but you don't hear me calling you every second asking you like, yo, Cujo, how to do this? Gracie, how to do that, right? Like the first time, like me and you talked, Cujo, I was just telling you how they came and stole my quote unquote motor conveyance out from in front of my domicile. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I wasn't asking you questions like, yo, how do I get it back? How do I get it back? Nah, I was like, yo, this is what happened. This is why they beat me in my head. So this is what I gotta do, right?
Straight up.
So it's either you're gonna get out here and you're gonna walk this path, or you're not, man. And I'm telling you, it's much more beneficial to those who are actually walking the path.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because again, I'm telling you, if you can get, again, a regular citation, which is a ticket thrown out, just writing a writ, what more can you do operating as a body politic? I'm talking about where you get somebody who's technically astute, right? Get them to write up the legal documentation, send it off, and y'all all start moving once the recognize, right? Because again, you can write documents where they can't refute them. You see what I'm saying? Because that's why they make books called Civil Procedures, Examples and Explanations by Workless Cluers from Law and Business, right? These are the type of books I got at the crib. You see what I'm saying? So if I need to find examples of how to do stuff, right? There's an example in here to show me how to do it, right? So now I know if this example in here out this lawful book, this law book, that means what I'm sending to these people, they have to recognize as being a lawful document, right? So so now the key is, okay, what do we really need to be doing as Moors? You know what I'm saying? What does the United Nations, even though it's a defunct organization, right? What does the UN say that we should have when it comes to reanimating our culture? What are the articles in there, right? We need to start operating under those articles. When you're doing everything by the law, by the book, as they say, how can somebody tell you no? I just think not enough of us want to operate by the book. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes work to operate by the book on a subconscious level. Like, the activity has to be ordered. You can't be in thinking about what you got to do. So, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, people don't want to get ready, man. Like, they don't recognize that we're in a war. Like, the word colonization means take over. They formed the 13 colonies. Like, so I don't know. To me, it's in people's face.
Yeah.
But they don't want to see it, man. They don't want to see it.
Choosing not to see it.
That's
crazy. That's crazy. And last quick one. Somebody in the chat was asking, is Black's Law one of the first books I need to get if I'm coming into this information?
No, it's not one of the first books you need to get. But I would recommend, honestly and truly, from the bottom of my heart, right? I recommend people go to RV Bay Publications, right? And get all of the lesson books. Read the lesson books. Those will put you in what I think, they'll get you ready to spar a little bit. You understand? Now, of course, there's going to be, maybe it might be one or two words in there that you might not recognize. So yes, a Black's Law Dictionary would be a good book to get, right? But I wouldn't recommend it as a first book to get, right? Then there are other Moors out there that'll tell you, hey, don't even read any of that type of material. Come in and just deal with the Holy Quran first, right? Because, listen, some people could have all the information in the world, but their character will not allow them to win. You see what I'm saying? Because the energy in you is not good. You know what I'm saying? Because at the bottom, at the end of the day, that's what it kind of boils down to. What is the level of energy that you're carrying around with you? You see what I'm saying? So I would recommend all the lesson books from RV Bay Publications first, right? They only like $15 a piece, or maybe $10 each. You know what I'm saying? So with $15 and download a PDF of Black's Law, because I'd rather you have the RV Bay books and a PDF of Black's Law, right? Then you should be able to start to see a few things. I wouldn't say go out there and do anything. I'd say read those books, then start building more. Come back to the chat. Like, cause we in this chat, what, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, today, Friday, like we always in the chat building, right? If you have real questions, you could come get sincere answers, right? Because the Muftis in the chat, you know what I'm saying, they do what they're supposed to do, right? And they're gonna keep it on a level where people could actually learn information, So that's what I have to say on that aspect of it.
There's a lot more.
Oh.
This one's for everybody. Brother Jacob Bay said that he was watching Roman J. Esquire on Blu-ray DVD, the deleted scene section. And in the deleted scene section, there's a section called a scene called Pro Bono.
For free.
Right? Pro Bono. Where Denzel's character is working on a case with this fellow coworker, and they have a Moroccan flag on the table. And the case that they're working on is about restoring land to the indigenous people who are the rightful heirs.
You said the case that they're working on is what?
The case that they're working on is about restoring land to the indigenous people and the rightful heirs of the land.
Yeah, salute to Denzel, man. That's what he's trying to tell y'all all the time. He be trying to straight. He's not gonna come out and wait and risk his life, man. But salute to Denzel, right? His name is Esquire with talent and nobility. Also in that movie, I heard a scene where the prophet's picture is actually on the refrigerator.
Yeah, yeah.
In one of the scenes. So maybe he was alluding to the fact that you can't practice law. You know what I mean? Like, you know how we lawyers be having to practice law?
Oh yeah, they're breaking you up.
I'm saying maybe in that particular scene, right? He was trying to show people that you can't practice law. You can't practice law because the thing was called pro bono, which means for free, right?
Right.
Because you have all these club members that are part of the bar association, and that's a license carrying organization, meaning that they pay to practice what they practice, right? And if you are doing law, right, you just do it. It's either you know how to execute or you don't. And if it's about restoration of indigenous land, I know I was told by John Kerry, by Hillary Clinton, that they recognized a treaty was signed for them to come over here. I know the Kingdom of Morocco was established in 1956 with a similar flag that you alluded to. So where did the Kingdom of Morocco get their flag?
Islam more. I hear that. Well, yo, if you want to just plug the site again and give thanks for your input and, you know what I mean, giving us a little build. Because, you know, the Moors, like you're saying, you know, the Moors in the chat, they love this stuff right here. They love these ones.
Bro, I want to go, like, we want to go to Star Trek, people. Like, that's where I want to go. I'm trying to get on my Star Trek stuff. I mean, trying to teleport. I mean, from here to Japan. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. Because right now we living in a mundane existence, man. You know, like it says the human being only uses 10% of their mind. Like, I want to get to 13% of my brain. Like, what is that going to be like? And you can't get there when you constantly dealing with, yo, how am I going to eat today? How am I going to dodge the popo today? Because my license is messed up or whatever is messed up. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's these nonsense things that the human existence is filled with that keep us held back, man. You know? Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. So my site is nomooredaily.com. Right now I'm in the process of fixing the pricing of some merchandise that I have on there. It's nothing too crazy, just some designs with some stuff that I thought was humorous. You know, shout out to you, Grand Sheik, for hitting me with the "Kiss Me, I'm Illuminati." Because at the end of the day, it's only people who know stuff that can be illuminated. You can't be illuminated if you don't know nothing. You know what I mean? So what is really Illuminati? You know what I'm saying? What really is it? I mean, I think I know a little something. So kiss me, I'm illuminated. You know what I mean? So I'm Illuminati, right? I know where the great seal emblem comes from. You know, like it was funny when I had the graphics artist working on the design. He had sent me back the pyramid, but it didn't have any shading under the bottom. I was like, hey man, they got a one note or a $1 bill,
yeah,
that's a better word, and flip it over, man. You see that the little shading under there? I need that.
I need that in there.
I need that in there. You know, so yeah, No More Daily, you know, it's just a site that I put up just to be able to share little tidbits of information, that I think is pertinent to every individual knowing. You see what I'm saying? Because if you recognize that you got to call yourself something that identifies a landmass, right? Even if you call yourself, yo, I'm just American then. Okay, if you're just American then, the definition means the various copper colored skin people. Everybody ain't copper colored skin. So you done drew a line already. Okay, just know that. And people need to start identifying themselves properly, right? Because this way you won't have any mix-up to hinder you. You see what I'm saying? Because all we're talking about is the facts at the end of the day, right? So if you are a Moorish American, now you're a swarthy, dark, marshy, landmass individual American. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or you can be a Saracen, you could be an Ottoman, you could be a Phoenician, because all of these people are dark-skinned people. You see what I'm saying? So now you have a vast empire to claim, as opposed to just wanting to be a confused individual, identifying as a made-up term, or identifying as something that's not even real. You understand? So it's like, it's imperative that you distinguish yourself, identify yourself, right? And again, I just use the American term because it's the most encompassing, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm for everybody, right? I'm not just for myself, because no man is an island, right? I grew up listening to old reggae tunes. You know what I'm saying? Listening to Dennis Brown or something. I got the Islander cultural all-inclusive mentality in me. You know what I'm saying? And it's just because somebody else came over here and set up day colonies and trying to make me divide against myself don't mean I'm a subscribe to the Willie Lynch letter. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, the choice is mine. Just like the choice is always the other individuals. Yeah. Right? But they not choosing. They choosing to be less, bro. Like, stop choosing less. Choose more. Be more. No more. If you know more, there won't be no more bullshit. Straight up. But like, yo, man, practical, regular, simple stuff, man. I'm a simple guy, man.
It's love, boy. It's love.
It's love.
Yeah, yo. So I don't know if you're just gonna mute. I'm just gonna deal with a couple more emails that we got from some of these Moors sending out their little stuff they like to set out. Hopefully teach somebody something. You know what I mean? So yeah.
It's love. All right. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just fall off Grand Sheik.
Yeah, man.
And I'm gonna eat this food that I wanted to eat for the last hour and a half, 2 hours.
That's gonna be. I feel sorry for that food right there.
It's love. It's love. I want to thank you for the opportunity to share with the family. Again, merchandise is on the site, family. I'll have the shipping stuff finished by, if not tonight, probably tomorrow. So everything will be good to go. I'll post it on IG, let y'all know when it's time to go and contribute, right? Because my goal with honestly the site is I want to generate some funds, because unlike other people, I know that I can't eat air, right? So I need to be able to put food in my stomach. So my vision, I don't know if I told you before, I always wanted to buy this little leafy green machine, which allow me to grow vegetables, right? So now I can take these vegetables, either eat them myself or make medicine out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because, yo, we need to become more industrious, right? We got to start doing things completely.
Woo! Oh, wow. That was rude. That was rude. You guys are so rude. Feisty. These guys are so rude. Maybe his battery just died. We'll see if he calls me back. That's crazy. But Islam, don't forget, nomoredaily.com. We also have to send a shout out to Sister Karima. Karima's Crafts. Now, when we say crafts, we're not talking about some clay pot or whatever. We say crafts. The good sister, the good mother, she's a tailor slash seamstress and goes in on stuff. Karima's crafts, right? She has the little Moroccan neck stuff. When you go on the plane, you got the stuff behind your neck, you got your flag repping. She's got, embroidery. Um, she does her work. So you can hit her up, Karima's Crafts, 216-374-7485. 216-374-7485. As well, email KHARYMAHSKRAFTS, Karima's Crafts, KHARYMAHSKRAFTS@gmail.com. All right. Custom gifts and alterations. She shows support. It's like the Moor said, it's not that Moors aren't industrious. Moors are industrious. People just don't support. All right, support. That's what it's about. Moors are industrious. The Moors out here doing all types of stuff. Right? There's Moors out here putting in work. Right? And then if you're for the vegan people, saw a comment about vegans on there. Make sure you go watch on YouTube being vegan in other parts of the world. Something like that. With this, I don't know if he's a little Indian guy or Arab or whatever, but he's vegan and it wasn't cool. But then it kind of was, depending on, your level of vegan. We have to send a big shout out to brother 7 or More Bay. So brother 7 or More Bay, just for the record, for people who, they still have doubts. Docket number MJ19103. This is for all the people who prove that the right to travel works and prove that you could send something in the court and then they got dismiss it. We got proof now. We got papers to prove. Docket number MJ19103 TR 0002364 2017. MJ 19103 TR 0002364 2017. Case filed 12/12/2017. Citation number C4335387-0. C4335387-0. So you can go check just to make sure that we're not just telling you some fake stuff somebody made up yesterday or they just typed this up themselves. Honorable Dwayne Dubs presiding. Dwayne Dubs, so you can check him out just to make sure he's somebody who actually works at the court that gave this ruling of notice of withdrawn charges. Notice of withdrawn charges. Letter from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to brother 7 or More Bay. All right. So just go check the numbers Let's go check the numbers, right? He sent his writ to the court with his seal on it, thumb seal, postage stamp, Moorish American heading, and got the stuff gone. Bye-bye. Because they know. So Islam to the Moor, for standing up on his nationality and birthrights, going to the quote-unquote court, beating up their BS, and having proof to show you that it is what Moors say that it is. Especially active Moors. Especially Moors who study and know the truth about their nationality and their birthrights. It's probably the only credible Moors out there that you should be listening to. If anybody's not gonna just like, you know, the Moor said, yeah, he got stuff that didn't go the way that it was supposed to go. Yeah, this is not some foolproof whatever. Doesn't mean that he threw away his birthright because stuff didn't go how it was supposed to go. The paper didn't work. So forget Taj Tariq Bey and forget Great Seal and forget RV Bey, because they said that and they said and they said, and when I went and did what they said, it didn't work. Well, no wonder it didn't work. Because you keep talking about they said instead of going and studying what they said. How about go study what they said instead of trying to do what they said? Maybe you might get somewhere. Just maybe you might get somewhere. Right? Now, Brother Latif Bey, my good brother, sends this for the Moors. These are trying hours now, dear Moors, and every evil spirit is moving, and they are trying every weak mind to overthrow and drag out the true foundation that has been laid, and to cause confusion in the minds of the ones that do believe. But if you have the true love of Allah and the spirit of your forefathers, you fear not what you hear or see, but will sacrifice the utmost of your very life to protect your movement and your prophet, Noble Drew Ali. That's from a European. Message to all you Negroes out there. All you conscious whoever's claim you know something about yourself, but don't want to recognize your own prophet. So that was a European. And European putting this one out there. YouTube, diversity of citizenship, Zodiac Constitution. When there's a Moor out there talking about prophet said don't call him a prophet. And Brother Latif Bey said, well, at the end of the prayer, I say this by day and by night through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Now, Dirty Moors are swearing on Noble Drew Ali that he said they don't call him a prophet. That's what they're on. Everybody wants to be the YouTube guy that saved the nation. Nobody wants to be, you know, let's work as a body. They want to play, I'm the guy that saved all the Moors. No one individual is going to save the Moors because that was done already by Noble Drew Ali. It's time for the Moors to just stop playing around. So Moor's been playing around, still playing around. When it's time to go, what are we still waiting for? It's about time to go. But nah, they want to play games with people. But Prophet didn't say that he's a prophet. What? Noble Drew Ali said don't call him prophet? What? Interesting. And the last one, because I see Moore's trying to get to House of Ram right now, because it's 8 o'clock. But I get it, Moore's. The only reason why I wish I had Facebook still. But Islam to the mood, all the House of Ram classes. Give thanks for that. We love you, Moors. So the Phoenicians took over as the next great sailing nation of the Mediterranean. A Semitic people like the Hebrews called Canaanites. The Phoenicians, a Semitic people like the Hebrews called Canaanites. Doesn't that mean all these people are related? So why are these people playing like they don't want to be the dark-skinned people, which we would call Moors? You want to be all this other stuff that they can't prove that that's what they are. At least Moors give you a nationality card, whether it comes from organization, whether it comes from association, whether it comes from, urban search and rescue, whatever. They're going to show you some stuff. All these other people, they're Pharaoh Allah, but they got a license and they're Jeffrey Smith. You Jeffrey Smith? Jeffrey, why are you lying to people when you don't even have anything to prove who you say you are? And then they're going to go in city council and try to say that they're traveling men and stuff like that in order to try to get in the door. Playing people. And peace to brother Hassan Campbell too, for airing out all these conscious coons out here. And that quote was from Voyages of the Pyramid Builders, Robert Scooch. Voyages of the Pyramid Builders, the true origins of the pyramids from lost Egypt to ancient America. Robert M. Schoch. Want more? Sorry. No more for you. You want more? No more. No more daily. Islam taught the Moors peace and love. I do will it was a good holy day for the Moors. Remember, love is our first principle. Keep showing love, Moors. And everything. And of course, we're going to do our little closeout music. Again, give thanks to nomoredaily.com. Make sure you're taking your studying serious, because that's all you got pretty much. All you got is you, the holy breath, and your mind. And if you line that up properly, then you have access to your soul and all that stuff. So, Islam Moors, happy holy day. We do will that you learned something. If not, check the archives, listen to it over again, and I'm pretty sure you'll pick up something on the next round. Peace.
If he's got a gun and bag as his defense, my offense is my rights with intelligence. Colors on our nations, just as a wall will fall with intelligence. I'm cheap, more iron, more heads in the fire, more props. Big up yourself, you sell out agent. Stop that, the light, nodding to this in your Khalid Muhammad said he's a more. Nuwapian say don't put L after your fake NOI burn Elijah Cool Bay pics. All you could do is break my bones with stones and sticks. Toronto, conscious cool town for boule clones. No entry with a felony, lectures over the phone. With intelligence, hence we don't break, we bend. Send energy back and forth in sequence, forth and back. Most don't want me on a track. I tell rappers about their tight shirts and showing ass cracks, not actions. Ignorance makes you a sinner. Get out from under and understand conscious beginner. Become energy dinner or appetizers. Speakers beg my flow to come through the amplifiers. With no mic check, few takes to mic wires. Gas rappers, co-defendants or gas liars. If he's got a gun and bag as his defense, my offense is my rights with intelligence. Colors on our nations, just a semblance. Babylon's wall will fall with intelligence. Some call the racists having us in their pens because of your ignorance and no intelligence. Colors on our nations, just a semblance. Babylon's wall will fall with intelligence. Alchemists on beats, no full metal. Rapping dummies, glaring ignorance wells and sea pebbles. You got nothing, frontin' like it's precious stones. Think you got money cause they gave you a loan. In the mirror, do you see X or P Newton? Do you see a black or more or a European? Do you see a Trinbagonian or Jamaican? Or a member of Earth's first population? What do you see in the mirror? A goddess like T or a sellout? Supporting Master Hill figure? Ask in the mirror, how you looking straight veinless? Negroes see the God by acting aimless. Some look and see wives of self-shapeshift. Some look and find the truth in eyes dark places. Revlon and Maybelline fake faces. Makeup cat and hot ex-slave mental cases. With blonde weaves, that's not bad of course. Forgot to mention Rome, blonde hair identified horse. We are not guilty but want to be innocent, responsible. Intelligence. If he's got a gun and bag as his defense, my offense is my right with intelligence. Colors on our nations, just a semblance. Babylon's wall will fall with intelligence. Some call the racists having us in their pens because of your ignorance and no intelligence. Colors on our nations, just a semblance. Babylon's wall will fall with intelligence. Let them know. Islam. Let them know. Let them know. Moorish MC order. I'm a round table sheet. 7 days in a circle and 52 weeks. Dirty Moors copycat and bite the prophet's speech. I'm L without taking a Hajj like Malik. In a group of solo, like Raphael Sadiq. Walking over rappers, like stepping over a creek. Exposing you dappers, dressing like Greeks. Showing off cheeks, thong wearing whale freaks. Suck like a leash, I'm the nerd you kick sand on at the beach. Verbally a face I stand on, I'm back to teach. Learn a lesson, as the piano soothes your mood. Lyrical weed, beat brain food, you turn God. Applying what I speak, the truth, they burn and lie through their teeth. Denationalize, jack for all your supplies and knowledge from the high priest on the mental highs. Bringing you light, giving you sight, close your eyes to pray. Get shackled at night, now they're giving you tripe. Tales of ox, feed of pigs and soup. You've been bamboozled, tricked, had and duped. Won't fight your own fight, but you join their troops, killing others around the world just to stay out the news. Won't fight your own fight, but you join their troops, killing others around the world just to stay out the news. Let them know. Use the mic to let them know. Let them know. What up, brother Hanif? Use the mic to let them know. This is like Jurassic. They got your birthright. Knowledge is light. They calling you black and you're calling them white. Your name's Mikael and they calling you Mike. Earth shadow is the darkness, they calling it night. Sodom and Gomorrites are called gays and dykes. False education appears real, they calling it fright. Chic on this beat, you're calling it tight. Effects from the roach blunt, calling it hype. With a ray and I'm cutting your kites. Rapping blood clot dummies, worry about scuffing the nights. Feminized in tight shirt, showing muscles and ice. Deals, got them acting like the three blind mice. Rhyming for nursery, laying play for Andrew Dice. I'm pro, you're Joe, the beat is spike. Can't take my flow, you hope I ease it right. I keep it coming like food and ackee, peas and rice. No coleslaw, tonic roots please, no Sprite. 5 cents for a bag, yo I don't need it alright. 65, 35, fam, no need to fight. Studio time paid with knowledge, time to leave the mic. Let them know. Use the mic to let them know. Let them know. Use the mic to let them know the truth about nationality and birthright.
Yo,
let them know.
agenda to the T, that massive. Ready fit to get the young Babylon with my shit. But give them what they want, so them won't come stash it. We're ready for tech back with things and lush it. Unified is the camp, nationality your stamp. When we dealing with the land, we talk attaching this man. So who the white man, who the black man? When the law was written by the brown hand. Inspiration from a universal realm to distort the realness and take the film. Keeping world under lock and key. Yo, cameras everywhere watching me. Check it, claim a right to be who I am. Public notice from seas to the land. Who's ready to stand? I am in propia persona. To hell with the fiat and the fake money launderers. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. It's time for the people to wake to injustices. Under contract, mind for combat. Natural law, enemies got to fall back. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. It's time for the people to wake to injustices. Under contract, mind for combat. Natural law, enemies got to fall
let
back.
Them know. Use the mic to let them know. Let them know. Use the mic to let them know the truth about nationality.
Had the school of tools, don't let it fool them. Had the school of tools, don't let it fool them. Had the school of tools, don't let it fool them. Had the school of tools, don't let it fool them.
Iron sheets spitting and hoping you. Most of those holding mics are producing the villains, losing the children. Cells roam, they call it them kids. Won't tell them it's a bond, why they call it a bid. You move big weight, I know you do it with pigs. So corrupt, never see jail, cause the one with wigs wears affairs with a pack down tassel as his. You call it racist when police smack you with sticks. Shadows of the crown, follow statutes and frauds, begging a privilege. Birthrights are yours, praise the Lord. Raise no sword but war tactics. Iron sheet gon' point like a cactus. Flip it, you might think it's gymnastics. I'm standing on my square like when they land on a mattress. Blackness lost, shows my faith in the Roman cross. Moors into stagnancy and chill like moss. Perform for the devil while I do job works. Protected by Anubis on my shirt. Promising athletes on back streets, unsolved crimes, witnesses they turn moms. Shoot my fam, you better not have an oath and think you can hide behind a badge or blue cloak. Could have you in 2 scopes when you sniff coke. Tips die for sniper that works for the popes. Cause when the beast come, rapper arrested is the cool one. Cause when the beef come, murdered rapper is the cool one. Cause when the beast come, rapper arrested is the cool one. Cause when the beef come, murdered rapper is the cool one. We live in a terrorist safe house. NAU and KKK got plans to take out minorities like trash, kick their ass out the multiculture. And you think they love you, cause they invite you to the company picnic, hang you like a pinata while they pick a stick and make youths wanna be Crips and Bloods that wear the same colors of police. They show no love, same colors as PC and liberals those. Same colors are the choice from Morpheus to Neo. Same colors on the Amity banner. Same colors of the lodges that belong to the Shriner. Millennium, mental slave chain smasher. Ill hunting for gay rappers like gay bashers. Feeding the hip-hop hungry rastas listen and they think I'm Irie. He's him and I'm me, so don't get it twisted. So deep I drop a floor, you have to airlift it. Rap blue so hard, you think we crippin'. Most rappers just talk with no vision. Cause when the beast come, rapper arrested is the cool one. Cause when the beef come, murdered rapper is the cool one. Conscious coons play tough in email wars, back and forth like waves crashing on seashores, questioning my MC skills like magistrates when KKK men treat you like the savages. Why? Cause they uphold the Constitution. Dred Scott could tell you ex-slaves lack a constitution. In war, for some there's collateral damage. Moors are the shrine of the shrine of maggots. Take heed, matter of fact, take this book that I know you won't read or take a look. Won't even turn one page in it, that's why I'm finished. Teaching y'all the game, y'all just love to scrimmage. Run to YouTube to quote minions' opinions. That stroke your chakras, got you thinking that's wisdom. Knowledge of self means get knowledge of self. You can tap the cell memory on the DNA shelf. Can teach you how to be overt or stealth. Black Peter is sent to slave, that's where they get the L's. For real, told you I'm serious, I'm not joking. You might see the locks, but don't think that I'm smoking. Not cause hybrids claim Europe means that I'm roping and dunking them in fire and brimstone with lava molten. I quicker toss a rapper in the flaming pit and toss a sellout and a trader in the same pit. Rap and BS singers get tossed in too. So with all the Indians that aren't native Hindu, I rep Hannibal, not the cracker like Manson. The first black prez is a Moor, go ask him. All these so-called players up in the rap game got brothers on the corner still with cocaine. All these so-called players up in the rap game got youth man trying to beat them, losing his brain. All these so-called players up in the rap game got sisters warring and daughters doing the same. All these so-called players up in the rap game. All these so-called players up in the rap game. You can talk the talk, but I won't trip. Since Iron Cheek, I'm asking to see a slave ship. Show me a slave ship boat or a slave ship sail, a slave ship plank. Hell, I can show you. They would have drowned in piss from 4 months of urination in the big bottom ships. Sleeping on my hair, my neck is crooked for weeks, but chained for months. Slave jump up and hit the fields. All the black Indians got turned to Negro slaves, black and colored with Euro names on their graves. During Columbus expeditions, Moors got shipped to you will be burned and whipped, branded, under and overhanded. Andrew Jackson tried to kill us when the Seminoles banded. Haitian Moors used Yoruba, formed an alliance and gained serpentine fire through American science. All these so-called players up in the rap game got brothers on the corner still with cocaine. All these so-called players up in the rap game got youth man trying to beat them, losing his brain. All these so-called players up in the rap game got sisters warring and daughters doing the same. All these so-called players up in the rap game. All these so-called players up in the rap game.